Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled, I suspect my wife might be interested in another man. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. So let's get right into it. I've been with my wife Courtney for around 10 years, and things have been recently very stale. And I feel like my wife might be cheating on me with one of her friends she's known since college. For starters, our marriage up until September seemed fairly normal. She and I had never gotten into fights. Sure, there were minor arguments here and there, but nothing to break a marriage. I've tried my best to improve upon things I suspect might be driving her away, but I think I've figured out the problem. Back when I started dating Courtney, she had a habit of going out partying with her friends and drinking. She used to be a heavy drinker, and she was in a bit of a rut. This friend from her college classes, Frank, always was so condescending and encouraged her habits. He never actively offered her anything, but if she ever asked him for, let's say, a drink, he'd make sure to get her super intoxicated and buy her expensive wine. I can't tell if they were in a relationship of sleeping together or simply drinking buddies. When we got married, she got sober and attempted to get back on her feet. She was still friends with Frank, who was still into the party scene, but she agreed she'd stop being around him whenever she could, and that's the way things were for a few years. The biggest concern of mine is Frank. He is very manipulative, smooth-talking, and dangerously wealthy. I've tried my best to keep Courtney away from him in fear she could possibly relapse by being around someone like that. But recently, ever since lockdown began, she's been on the computer a lot. She isn't as secretive over it, and if I ever come by to check what she's doing, she doesn't make an attempt to hide anything, so I figured it was nothing to worry about. She got into a video chat with some of her friends from college and high school. Frank happened to be in the video chat, and over the course of the night, I noticed they were having conversations with each other more and more as the group started to leave. Eventually, it was just the two of them in there, and they talked for hours. I was in the room with them, watching TV. I said hi to him, not thinking much of it as it was out in the open. I decided it wasn't anything to get worried about. They kept talking for hours to the point where I went to bed while they were still laughing and chatting. Ever since then, I noticed they've been in group chats and video calls with their friends. I've checked them and nothing seems too out of line. Frank, however, seems to flirt or make jokes towards Courtney. Courtney either laughs it off, doesn't respond to it, or is just oblivious. They always have video calls with their friends, but it always ends with her and Frank just talking and laughing on and on for hours. I asked her about it, and she just told me they were merely friends. I didn't want to ask her ever again. I came home one day with Courtney and her group of friends, including Frank, smoking out in the backyard. Frank standing very close to Courtney. She didn't seem fazed at all. She kept ignoring me, and I just decided to let her hang out with her old friends. I would check up on them from time to time, and noticed Courtney was crossing her legs but appeared to be rubbing her heel on Frank's knee. She's been talking to Frank more and more with her friends, and I'm seriously suspecting the worst. She's recently asked how I'd feel if she went out to spend time with some of her friends, leading me to suspect she could be planning on cheating on me. Or perhaps she already has. Any advice and second opinions would be appreciated. Please be honest with me. And the OP has an edit/update for us. Turns out she was cheating on me with him. Her friend sent me a video of her getting effing wasted and sitting on his lap while he gave her a hickey. I dug through her computer and found photos and videos of them in bed as well. Right now, we're going through the process of a divorce. And the first comment says, this is how the affair starts. The excessive talking for hours, then meeting up with him. If she starts going out with friends, definitely Frank will be there. I guarantee you this will progress to a point it may not be reversible. Call her out on it and tell her to knock it off. None of this wishy-washy, I'm uncomfortable nonsense. How she reacts will tell you all you need to know. And a reply to that says, exactly this. Those meetings without you will happen in the exact same way like the video chats. One after one, the friends leave until your wife is alone with Frank. But that time, he is outside with her, and alcohol is probably also available. You need to stop asking your wife if there is something. You need to tell her what you see and how you feel. That is the beginning of the affair, and your wife is next to make a decision for or against your marriage. You need to step up now. Tell her how you feel about her past with Frank, and that you are afraid of where their meetings will lead to. They are already super close. This won't end well if you remain quiet. If she then still says that it is innocent, then turn the situation on her. Make her see the situation from your perspective, especially the part when they met in the backyard, and ask her how she would feel about it if you would do all that with a girl from your past. And the next comment says, I mean, it doesn't sound great, but why aren't you invited to these gatherings? And the OP replied, it's not that I'm not invited. I can go there if I please, but typically I'm ignored. And a reply to that says, you'd have to have a conversation about all of this. It's better to have an awkward conversation now than let it simmer and brew until she ultimately ends up cheating because she thinks you don't care. And a reply to that says, this sad and a huge red flag. If you're being ignored when there's other shiny things nearby, that's a telltale sign of being taken for granted. And it seems to me people are many times more likely to cheat if they take their SO for granted. Please have a proper sit down and talk about all of this and set some boundaries. I read someone saying something along the lines of, boundaries is the line where I can love you and love myself simultaneously. And I think that is a beautifully accurate description. It's important to open up about your boundaries. Give your SO a chance at not driving you away, and a chance to be honest with you and themselves if they're for whatever reason faltering. I wish you the best of luck. And the last comment says, your wife is of an age and your marriage at a stage where she probably is wondering if the grass is greener. It sounds to me like you guys don't communicate well, and it also sounds like you are a bit introverted, not joining get-togethers when your wife has people over. Right now, this sounds like an emotional affair that your wife is getting validation from, but is still at a point she has plausible deniability. She may not even acknowledge this behavior is crossing a line in her own mind. I would definitely communicate your uneasiness with her relationship with Frank. Explain you have no problem with her interacting with her friends, female and male alike, but you sense Frank as a problem. Judge her reaction. Next, I would 100% park my A right next to my wife during these get-togethers and try my hardest to be sociable. But no way would I make myself scarce for Frank to move in on her. I would also park myself near her during the video chats, even if she talked until 3 a.m. Lastly, she asked if you would mind her going out to hang out with her friends. 1. It's not responsible at this time. 2. I would tell her you have always trusted her completely, right up to this moment in your marriage. If Frank will be there, you aren't comfortable with her going out. Period. I would risk the controlling label, no problem. Please update us. Good luck. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, and be sure to comment below. Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled, I suspect my wife might be interested in another man. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Let's get right into it.